Oh, have we attracted you, my lady? With this plush? Yes! It worked!
You know what my mama used to tell me, Whit?
What did she tell you?
Nothing.
Oh. Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to the Listenercast.
Hi.
Good opening today, Ryan.
Dude, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Welcome to the Listenercast. This is episode 6. Six. And we've moved on from the Way of Kings.
Thank God.
Well, I happen to like that one.
Well, too bad this is just a better book. So, oops.
Oopsies. Anywho, we're on to Words of Radiance today. Huge day.
This is massive.
It's a huge day. I actually was just looking at my bookshelf right before this, and I looked at Oathbringer, and I said, "Oh, I can't
It's not
wait."
that bad.
No, I was excited.
Oh, you were excited. I thought you were talking about like
my
the length
favorite.
or whatever.
Oh no! If I was worried about the length, I wouldn't be reading these books.
Yeah. Either this one or Oathbringer is my favorite, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask you this, and I don't know if we actually did it, so we might have actually did it. If you were to give me like a ranking right now, what would it be?
I think mine is, if I remember correctly, because we talked about this last year, and I read these books again last year. My favorite is Oathbringer.
Okay.
And then Rhythm of War.
Okay.
And then Way of Kings.
Okay.
And Words of Radiance.
That's crazy.
I know, but here's the thing, is that I love all of them.
Right.
But I just remember when I was reading the series initially, liking this one the least.
Yeah, whatever.
I still really liked it.
Yeah.
And like, I know that this book is like the second most highly
It's
rated
the most
book
highest rated.
No, but it's behind Calvin and Hobbes book.
No, it's not.
That's what Brandon said.
Oh, okay.
I just go by what the man says.
Oh, okay.
On Goodreads, at least.
Yeah.
But this is one of the most highly rated books on Goodreads. Because, I mean, he even said in like the interview that I watched or whatever it was where he was talking about this, he was like, if people don't like the first book, obviously they're not going to give it a good rating. But if you liked the first book enough that you made it to the second book, then obviously people are going to like it more.
Right.
So.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, we usually don't yap this much in the beginning.
That's okay. Wait, I want to give you my ranking.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So probably either this one.
Yeah, I know you love this one.
Or then Oathbringer. Mm-hmm. Those could probably flip-flop.
Okay.
But I'll go this one. Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, Rhythm of War, Way of Kings.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's a good rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay.
So I was about to say as per usual, but we yapped a little bit more than we normally do right in the beginning here.
Yeah, who cares?
We'll do more yapping at the end. But today we're going to get into part 1 of Words of Radiance.
Yes.
Yippee. Thanks for being here. All right.
Sorry. All right.
No, you're fine.
I got some more summaries. I didn't do them last week just because we were just keeping it casual, keeping it
casual. And we apologize on the tardiness of this episode. We are both adults that have full-time jobs and lives. And, you know, it happens.
A lot of people died.
No.
Yes. That's the reason I couldn't record.
Oh, I forget that's like your job. Not like your job that Ryan works in a funeral home. If anybody hasn't gotten to that lore. Okay, prologue to question.
We get Yasna's perspective on the assassination of her father, King Gavilar. That's all I wrote for that because
Yeah, I have 3 notes in this actually.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is actually like right on our second page here. And it's when Yasna is going through the hallway and it says that she notices her shadow is pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Which is the first time that I think we ever really see this. At least like it's openly recognized.
It's the second time. I'm pretty sure because in the interlude with that one
Yes.
guy, he's like, my shadow points in the wrong direction. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I guess like acknowledged by our main cast of characters here.
Yeah.
So that was just a note that I had. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, who knows?
Who knows? I know it does come back up later in this part, actually, where Shallan notices that her shadow's also facing the wrong way.
Yeah. I really like how this sort of prologue starts with Yasna basically saying, like, oh, I have a meeting with an assassin, and we know, like, this is when her dad got assassinated. So, like, it's the whole thing. It was just like, did she actually hire the assassin?
Right. But you have that moment.
Yeah, but then it's like, no. She's like, she wants to keep an eye on Elikar's wife because she's like, nah, she's up to something.
What is her name? Aesidon?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't trust Aesidon. I also just really like this prologue because obviously we hear about Gavilar's assassination so much in the last book.
Yeah.
That it's cool to get like a more firsthand, like we obviously get like the firsthand perspective of like Szeth committing the murder, but for like to have Yasna, like to have her perspective as well is interesting. And like, I don't know, it's just cool to kind of see like where she was at when it all went down. And like, I mean, she literally sees him die. Yeah. Which is crazy. Because she never mentions that to Shallan in the first book. Being like, yeah, I watched my father die. Yeah. So.
I have this marked down here, and I'm trying to remember. So, in the first prologue of the first book, Szeth, when we're like following him, is like looking at the herald statues. And he says one is missing. Do you remember which one is missing?
I don't.
Okay, because Yasna like summons one into Shadesmar, and it's Taln's. And I'm wondering like which one is missing, because it's either Taln or Jezrean's that's missing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But if it's Taln's, then maybe there's that. This is the reason that it was missing, like in the first prologue. But if not, then maybe who knows? Yeah, that's just something I marked down. Also,
yeah, I should have gone.
I should have went back. I just forgot.
That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, did you have anything? I mean, she went to Shadesmar. That's pretty wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did mark where she sees him die.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was. I just really think it's so interesting that she never talks about it. That she was like, I was in the room when he died. But she walks in to the room. Furniture in shambles, splinters everywhere. The balcony doors were broken outwards. Someone lurched toward them, a man in her father's shard plate. Tyrim, the bodyguard? No, the helm was broken. It was not Tyrim, but Gavilar. Someone on the balcony screamed, and Yasna yelled, "Father." Gavilar hesitated as he stepped out onto the balcony, looking back at her, and then the balcony broke beneath him. And she screams, dashes through the room to the broken balcony, falling to her knees at the edge. She watched the two men fall, her father and the Shin Man in white from the feast. She sees the Shin Man glowing in a white light. He fell onto the wall, hit it rolling, then came to a stop, and then he stood up, and he was fine. He stalked toward her father, and then she watches Szeth kill him. Yeah. So, I mean, like, he already, like, was basically dead from the fall, but she sees it. He just sees it happen, and I just think it's crazy that like whenever she's like, I don't know, like working with Shallan and stuff, that she never brings up that she was there. Like I know she's very secretive, but it's still just like
she's a very reserved individual.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's neat. You ready to move on to part one? You got something else to say? Oh, okay. Scented.
Part one is Shallan, Kaladin, and Dalinar.
Yes. Shallan and Yasna are traveling on the Wind's Pleasure, hoping to reach the Shattered Plains. Shallan wishes to be lowered into the water so she can sketch the Santha that has been traveling alongside the ship. She is told no because it's too dangerous. Yasna then tells her that she's spoken with her mother, Navani, who thinks that she can repair Shallan's father's soulcaster, and also that she can possibly be betrothed to Adolin.
Yes.
And after this, Shallan decides that she's not taking no for an answer and gets the sailors to lower her down into the water to see the Santhid.
Which is so cool of her.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like before we... the whole Santhid scene is probably like one of those scenes that like I think about most with the series and everything.
Really?
And well, yeah, and that's probably because there is like a great illustration done into it.
Yeah.
And everything, but like, yeah, and that just helps me visualize it even more. But I don't know, I've just always liked that scene.
I do too, because she literally is like, no one has ever been able to properly document what this creature looks like, and I'm gonna do it. So she literally like makes the captain stop the ship so she can go down and see what this creature looks like so she can sketch it. Yeah, it's in the name of education and the name of scholarship.
Yeah, it's so like otherworldly.
Yeah, I think it's so cool.
Oh yeah,
I think Shallan's awesome.
Oh, and we also get the answer to like, so have you done like her thing, her chapter,
her marker thing?
Yeah, her marker thing.
I've never noticed that. What is it?
It's literally what she's describing. Like in the first thing, Shallan pinched the thin charcoal pencil and drew a series of straight lines radiating from a sphere on the horizon. The sphere wasn't quite the sun, nor was it one of the moons. Clouds outlined in charcoal seemed to stream toward it. The sea beneath, a drawing could not convey the bizarre nature of that ocean, made not of water, but of small beads of translucent glass. Like that's what this thing
Shadesmar?
is. Yeah, like that's like Shadesmar. Oh. But this was in the first book too, and like I kept looking at that, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, for anyone who's listening, if you are reading a physical copy of the book, at the start of like each of the characters' chapters, they kind of have like an illustration, partly I guess like to mark who the chapter's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one is Shallan's. I've never looked at it that hard, to be honest.
Oh.
But you said it's really cool.
Yeah, it's because I kept looking at it like when we were reading the first book, and I was like, "What is that?" And then like I saw it again, and I was like. And then I read that sentence, and I was like, oh, that's what it is.
Like, literally at Shadesmar.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so anyway, that was just a cool little, finally, we understand this thing that we've been seeing, like, all throughout last book. Like, we get an answer. What it is.
What it is.
Hey, there's a weird pattern showing up.
Yeah. It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of spren and this weird pattern, I underlined here where we get kind of a more concrete, educated answer on like what spren really are in this chapter. Because like Yasna asks her like, what are spren? And Shallan's like, well, nobody really knows what they are. And she goes, no, like, what are they? And she says, they're living ideas. And then Yasna spins around and Shallan's like, well, am I wrong? And Yasna goes, no, you're right. By my best guess, spren are elements of the cognitive realm that have leaked into the physical world. They're concepts that have gained a fragment of sentience, perhaps because of human intervention.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just cool we get like a more, I guess, like scientific answer on what spren are. I don't know. I just think that's neat.
Oh yeah, because we also get like a better answer of like what Shadesmar is. Like that is the cognitive realm.
Right.
Which is like, okay, cool. And so spren come from the cognitive realm now. Mm-hmm. So yeah. No,
they're like not even on like the same dimensional plane as our cast of characters. I don't know. In this world.
Yeah. It's like a different plane of existence.
Yeah. Which is crazy and cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it like kind of goes into like everything. So now we kind of learn like everything has a spren from what we learn. Like everything. Which goes more into like what it was talking about with the last book, how like everything has like a spirit or something that's like sort of like Dimitri told me Shintoism.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. I'm curious.
It's neat, but yeah, so that's a cool concept that I like, and it's finally like confirmed, like, yep, everything has a spren, and everything kind of has like some sort of
spirit,
some sort of mind,
Sentience,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I have more things in this chapter, but not till later. Do you have anything else kind of early on?
I don't have anything early on. I do have it marked where I literally had the same thing marked that you did.
Really? About this friend?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I had it marked where she was talking about Navani and how she talked to Navani.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I have therefore arranged a powerful alliance for your house. And Yasna took a deep breath and basically just told her, like, what if you got betrothed to my cousin?
Yeah, she says he's handsome and well acquainted with amiable discourse. And she's like, you've promised him my hand. And Yasna says, I've started the process. And she's speaking with uncharacteristic anxiety, which we don't really ever see from Yasna. Though at times he lacks foresight, Adolin has a great heart, or a good heart, as good as that of his father, who may be the best man I have ever known. He is considered Alucard's most eligible son, and my mother has long wanted him wed. Betrothed, Shallan repeated. She said, yes, is that distressing? She says, it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Dude, it's great.
So easy. If I'm married to someone so powerful, storms, no one would dare touch us in Yalkaved.
Yeah.
It would solve many of our problems. Brightness, Yasna, you are a genius.
Dude, and I love that, like, Shallan kind of has that moment where he's like, wait, he's in line to the throne, and Yasna's kind of like, yeah, third in line.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay.
She's like, oh, yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, this is not stressful at all. But I love that she added that in, that Navani, like, has been wanting him wed for, like, so long.
Yeah.
Because he's run up, like, all the other women in court because he's stupid. He's bad with women.
He is bad with women. He just needs a neurodivergent baddie.
That's so real.
Because Adolin's also definitely some kind of neurodivergent, right? I don't, actually, he's pretty neurotypical.
So. Yeah, I don't think so at all.
But I think that's why he works with a neurodivergent lady. Or could work with a neurodivergent. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
What is it that you think I am? Shallan whispered, meeting the older woman's eyes, finally asking the question she hadn't dared. Yasna says, right now you are but a promise, a chrysalis with the potential for grandeur inside. When once humans and spren bonded, the results were women who danced in the skies and men who could destroy the stones with a touch.
What page are you on?
I am on the next page from the conversation where we're talking about being betrothed. It's 36.
Ah, okay.
But, because she's like, why would you... Why me? Because I have nothing to offer your house.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it's because of what you are.
Yeah.
I think you have something more important than riches that you could offer him. And she's like, what do you think I am? And then she basically implies that she's a Radiant.
Yeah.
And Shallan's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what's in that. What are you talking about? Yes, you're talking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, no. I mean, like, man, Shallan's probably, like, I couldn't imagine being in her shoes.
Oh, no. To be like, oh, I'm a Radiant, but also now I'm betrothed to third in line to the throne. That's
also,
crazy.
My brain's messed up.
She's normal right now. She's a little strange right now.
Thank you. She's seeing this, like, thing pop up, some weird pattern.
Yeah,
it just
but
keeps
we
disappearing.
find out that it's a spren.
Yeah, we find that out, but also she's, like, kind of maybe losing her mind. She's like, I keep seeing this pattern. It just keeps showing up.
But they say that, like, I think it's in, like, the next chapter we get with her, that, like, the men on the ship can see it. So she knows she's not hallucinating. Like, she knows that it's, like, a physical thing.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for this chapter, but we do get the Xanthid scene, which we have talked about. And this is where she, like, kind of thinks about, even though she's not as, like, far up the royal I don't know, like line as Yasna. She acts like her. She's like, what would Yasna do in this situation if she wanted to sketch the Santhed? And she's like, I have to act like Yasna. And I like that.
I just have to say that I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I like that. That's how she starts handling so many of her issues in the book. At
she
this
just
point,
has to be like Yasna.
She's like, what would Yasna do?
Because Yasna always gets her way.
Instead of like a what would Jesus do bracelet,
what would Yasna? It's still WWJD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What would Yasna do? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make myself a bracelet, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, she's like, she's Christian," and like, I'm not here to argue that. But if people ask, I'm like, no. It's what would Yasna do?
What would Yasna do?
What?
What? What are you talking about? Go away.
This girl's weird.
Yeah. You ready to move on to chapter 2?
Bridge 4.
Bridge 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaladin rejoins his men after the first high storm since joining the Kholins. He appoints positions for the men of Bridge 4 and also tells us how they're going to train all the other bridgemen. That was a really long sentence. The men of Bridge 4 all then go and get tattoos to mark that they are Bridge 4 and also free men. All the tattoos take except for Kaladin's. Frowny face. They all go to get their uniforms and then tear off the Cobalt Guard patch and want to get Bridge 4 patches now.
We're going to do that.
Yeah?
We're going to get Bridge 4 tattoos.
I really want one.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool.
I actually want to do this.
Yeah, you want to do Kaladin's chapter symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do that.
I showed you that Jenna got like a Kaladin tattoo.
Yeah, it's so dope.
It's pretty awesome. I don't know if it's finished yet, but
we should get our Bridge 4 tattoos before Dragonsteel.
Okay.
That's all. And since we can't go for a Stormlight year and not have Bridge 4 tattoos. I don't know.
I don't know if that's we can.
We can.
But yeah.
I'm not going to though.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to be so locked in.
Yeah. We're doing a podcast on Stormlight. Like, we're not locked in enough already?
No, I gotta permanently put it on my body.
Okay.
I mean, I got so much real estate still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do it on my arm. Anyways.
Yeah. All right.
I don't really have any notes. I have one note in this entire chapter.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me that?
I just marked the scene where when they are getting the tattoos, where the tattoos say freedom. Mm-hmm. But then Hobber says, so pause.
Okay, all right.
They're talking, Hobber asks about what the tattoos say.
Yeah.
And he asks softly with tears in his eyes. Sigil says freedom. The glyph means freedom. The smaller ones above, Kaladin said, say the date you were freed and the one who freed you. Even if you lose your writ of freedom, anyone who tries to imprison you for being a runaway can easily find proof that you are not. They can go to Dalinar Kholin scribes who keep a copy of your writ. And Hobber nods and he says, that's good, but it's not enough. Add Bridge 4 to it. Freedom. Bridge 4. To imply you were freed from Bridge 4? No, sir, I wasn't freed from Bridge 4. I was freed by it. I wouldn't trade my time there for anything.
It's awesome. It's great. I mean, like, there's nothing else to say. Like, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's very endearing.
And that's where they all get the insignia tattooed.
Yeah.
Or the glyph.
I have a mark down on here. I'll talk about this first because it happens first.
Okay.
Moash is like the only one that got it on his arm.
Yes.
Everybody else got it on their forehead.
Yeah.
But Moash is the only one that got it on his arm. Kind of, once again, separating him apart from the others because he's the one that kind of like treats Kaladin as like more of a friend and less of like a
crazy man with powers, like a captain.
Yeah, like an authority figure and everything. Yeah. And then like right after that, Shen.
Yes.
Shen gets one, and the tattoo artist is just like, you can't do that. He's property. And he's like, nah, he's freed because he's Bridge 4 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels good.
I like that Shen, like, because Kaladin mentions it, that he's like starting to come more out of his shell. Get it?
That was so dumb. I can't even look you in the face
Why?
right now.
Why?
That was so
It's
silly.
pretty good.
That was really silly.
Cool. Kaladin and Teft have a cool conversation later on where Kaladin's just like, this is you, Teft. You're a leader. You're a soldier. I want you to lead these like men. And Teft is just like, but you're a surge binder. And Kaladin's just like, yeah, well, shut up.
What about it?
Yeah, what about it? More like people saying we're Bridge 4 and stuff like that. And it's cool. But
Yeah.
that's all I really got.
Yeah. I mean, literally the only thing I marked was that. So.
Yeah. Going on to the next chapter, chapter 3, Pattern, you get that cool Santhid.
Yeah, the Santhid illustration in the book is really neat.
It's dope. It's really neat. It's very alien looking. Just like a mix of a turtle, whale, jellyfish.
Yeah, and it's like they say it's good luck for sailors to see them, and it's crazy that they've been around for so long and like are regarded as this very like good luck thing for, I almost said soldiers, sailors.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see it like actually officially documented. Yep.
Sailors are the soldiers of the sea.
Sure.
Okay.
Could be pirates.
No.
All right, what's your summary for chapter 3?
My summary for chapter 3 is Shallan is noticing that strange pattern again and discusses what it is with Yasna. Yasna then informs her that that sentence doesn't make sense, so I'm going to try to derive what I meant to say. Yasna then informs her that she belongs to an order of Radiance that's different from her own. They go on to discuss all sorts of matters, including the Heralds, the Knights Radiant, and the Almighty.
You need to start proofreading.
No. I write these in the moment, and I'm just like typing as fast as I can. And, yeah.
And then you don't look at them again until we record.
Exactly. Because they're done. Why do I have to?
That's so funny.
Why don't you write them if you have issues with it?
I'm the one that edits all of this. I have to listen. Not only do I have to listen to us talk right now,
You don't remember this, though.
Most of the time I do, because like I usually edit, like if I have time, like it's early in the day today, so probably after you leave I will go ahead and edit this, upload it, it'll be up by midnight.
Okay.
I have to listen to us talk. I spend like 4 to 6 hours out of my day listening to the two of us speaking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I don't know how anyone puts up with it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so you write the summaries, I edit the podcast.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So, I'm sorry.
Yippee.
Chapter 3. What you got for chapter 3, Whit?
Let me see.
Forgot that I read my summary.
I know I did too. We started arguing.
It wasn't arguing.
No, we weren't arguing. This is a really short chapter. The only thing... Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mentioned, like, Yasna saying that Shallan is a different order than Yasna.
Yeah.
And Yasna says, like, I had originally hoped we would have the same type of spren. And she says, but of course that would be too easy. I've suspected since Carbranth that we would be different orders. And Shallan says, orders, rightness? And she's prodding that pattern on the floor with a pencil, and it shied away like an animal that had been poked. And Yasna says, yes, the ink-like spren that had accompanied her before had not reappeared. Each order reportedly had access to 2 of the surges with overlap between them. We called the powers surge binding. Soul casting was one, and that is what we share, though our orders are different. And then Shallan just goes, I'm not one of the Radiants.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool that we are getting more information about like the Radiance and the powers that come with it, and like the fact that 2 different orders can share like surge binding or soul casting. Soul casting, really. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I have marked. I just think it's neat.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting some more depth.
We're getting more lore.
More lore.
Like we learn that Shallan's spren is a cryptic.
Yes.
known as a lying spren.
Lispren.
Shallan has another memory of a silvery sword.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of just like this is kind of like a lore dumpy chapter, which I really like because I don't know. I could see why somebody might be like, but where's the action? Like, but this is like really cool stuff to me, just kind of like learning more about like how the spren work. And just like, what were the night radiance? And also there's like a mention of void spren.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, though.
No.
We're not fully there yet.
No, but it's like mentioned.
Yeah. There's
Cool.
there's a part that comes up later that I'm pretty sure I marked.
Oh yeah, about void
Yeah.
spren.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I've got for that chapter.
Yeah, I don't have much either. It's
Pretty short, straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Taker of Secrets.
Dalnar is once again having a vision and is describing it to Navani. When he wakes, they discuss their plans and his proclamation that they are going to go public soon. When Dalnar leaves, he's
Public. About their relationship?
No, about his proclamation. Their relationship's already known.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, he sees 62 days, death follows, written on the
Yes.
wall.
Yeah. Ooh. I was like, my brain for a second, even though I read this like a couple days ago, I was like, public about what? But I knew it was a proclamation, but my brain was like, wait, their relationship?
No.
Anyways. Yeah, I have a note
Okay.
right here off the back, or off the go here. Dalinar and the other soldiers formed a ring around the knight, weapons outward. Not far off, another group of soldiers with the knight at their center marched through the water. Why did you call us back? Cave thinks he saw something. Be alert. Let's move carefully. And he says, I don't really know what we're looking for later on. He said, and person responds, a spren that doesn't act like it should. Keep your eyes open. Once Jotnot touches a spren, it acts strange. Call attention to anything that you see. So this is the first mention
Of Jotnot.
of Jotnot.
Yeah.
And then he also sees a face in the water when he looks down. And it looked like a shadow. It had red eyes. The knight says, it's here then, Jean, not spy. Run at the checkpoint. The rest of you keep watching. It won't be able to go far without a carrier. And they just see this red dot in the water. And so this is like a really confusing one when you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's an interesting flashback or vision for him.
Oh yeah, it is, because then like the spren goes into the water and like out pops a thunderclast.
Yeah.
Which is like these giant rock monsters that we've seen previously.
Yeah.
Rock monster.
A rock monster. Is it a rock lobster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Like in the VeggieTales
Oh.
from the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything.
Gosh.
There's a giant rock monster where they sing rock lobster, but instead of saying rock lobster, they sing rock monster.
I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that since I was
I went to
in-
the theaters and saw that with my grandmother.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I definitely watched that at church as a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I had a VeggieTales. I won't go too far on this tangent, but I did have a VeggieTales like CD-ROM game for the computer. That was awesome. I
That's
remember.
sick.
That's all. I
We
can't remember what
should
it's called.
cast at the end, if we remember, the cast of Stormlight as VeggieTales. Anyway.
I don't remember enough about VeggieTales to do that.
Never mind.
Maybe next time. I'll read up on the VeggieTales again.
The VeggieTales lore.
Do you have any other notes right there?
Because
I have something a little later.
At the end of his vision, like the Almighty talks to him, and basically like tells him that he has. Is this where he tells him like yes, he has to refound like the Knight's Radiance and everything.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he's like, I have to refound the Knight's Radiance. And then everybody's like, why?
And they're like, what do you even mean?
Yeah, what are you talking about? And then
Navani says, "Why you?"
he's
Why-
like, God told me to.
He's like, I don't. He literally says, "Why is one man born a king and another a beggar? It is the way of the world."
That's a good little. I like that little quote right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have another note?
I do. I'm trying to see.
Because I have
Oh,
something.
yeah. I just marked the part where he falls asleep and then he wakes up. He stretches, rising. He needed to go over some preparations for releasing the king's proclamation, and then acceded to the new guards. He stopped. The wall of his room bore a series of stark white scratches forming glyphs. They hadn't been there before. 62 days, the glyph read. Death follows.
Yeah. So this is what I was going to talk about as well.
Okay, let's talk about it.
What do you have to say?
I just picked it out. So you speak on what you have to say about it.
I was going to talk about like what happens after that, where they're just like, okay, so there's no way that a person could have gotten in here to do this. Yeah. Like there's a tiny window, but nobody could have fit through it or anything. Mm-hmm. And side note, I think this is the first time we meet Rushu.
I think it is as well.
And I just want to say, I love Rushu. She's a great little side character that like shows up through the series.
Yeah.
She's just a quirky ardent.
Love her.
She's very silly and funny.
Very silly.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's like another mystery that like we obviously will find out by the end of the book. Kind of like how the saddle was in the first book and everything.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
Kaladin's like, I failed you.
I'm so sorry.
1 week on the job, I failed you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hears a voice in his head towards the end of this chapter where it just says the ever storm comes. 62 days, not enough time. It was apparently all he had.
Womp womp.
Not womp womp. All right, chapter 5, Ideals.
Yeah, so Kaladin hears the proclamation that Dalinar made from a crier. He then goes and guards a meeting with the king and all the other Kholins. Dalinar intends to take the High Prince's shard blades and plate away by letting Adolin duel for them. Also, he wants to refound the Knights Radiant, which isn't that fun. Then we get a Sadeas perspective where he's just being a maniacal villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we meet
Ela
for the first time. Like really, because she has been brought.
She's been around.
Yeah, but we haven't like gotten a proper really like introduction, and we get that here.
Oh yeah.
Where we find out like
she's just like Lady Macbeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where she runs the entire spy network.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to mention we haven't talked about the excerpts that are before the chapters.
Oh yeah, they're from Navani's notebook or journal.
And they are I actually was like really paying attention to them this go around.
Yeah.
They are very foreshadowy every single chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one where it says the sign on the wall proposed a greater danger even than its deadline. To foresee the future is of the Voidbringers. And so it's like crazy that like obviously, and the way that he does it where it's like talking about something that we already like know or kind of know, and then to just like kind of give us a little bit more. But if you haven't read the books, you're just like, what? But yeah, like I said, I was paying closer attention to them this time, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but there's one, and I don't want to talk about this until we get there, but she talks about grief in one of them.
Oh yeah. That was, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that before we're there because it just feels inappropriate. So yeah, this chapter, I don't really
have a lot to say about this chapter.
I don't either. Let me see. I have a note, I think. Maybe 2. Yeah, I have 2. We'll go for 3.
Oh yeah, I got some stuff.
This is a long chapter.
Yeah. Sigzil wants to test Kaladin's abilities, and he's just like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then him and Syl can have a moment. He's just like, oh, why didn't you laugh earlier? And she's like, you need to quit being a stick in the mud.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I have it marked right here where they're like, I guess like in the barracks. I don't know. They're in the war camp at some point.
What page are you on?
I'm on 92.
Okay.
And Kaladin like nods to a light-eyed soldier, and Kaladin technically like outranks him. But like not socially because he is still a Dark Eyes, but like militarily he outranks him.
Yeah.
And the man looks him up and down and says, I heard you held a bridge practically by yourself against hundreds of Parshendi. How did you do that? And he did not address Kaladin with Sir, as would have been appropriate for any other captain. Moash comes up and says, you want to find out? We can show you, personally. Kaladin says, hush. He turned back to the soldier. And he said, I got lucky. That's it. And so it's just, I wanted to point, oopsies. I wanted to point this out because this is where we see other people like hearing about Kaladin, like more like a greater sense of people in like the war camps, hearing about Kaladin, but also hearing that he's doing these like
crazy feats,
superhuman feats. And I just wanted to point that out, that it's been noticed.
Yeah, no, I agree. And right after that, the soldier waited a minute and then said, Sir.
Yeah.
Which is like, it feels like he's gaining respect from people, but very slowly and everything. You know?
Very slowly. And I mean, I feel like it's when your whole society is so based on, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
just like the way the system is split between like light eyes and dark eyes. Like
I don't want to call it a caste system.
I don't want to either.
I don't think that's right. Yeah.
No. But like when your whole like it.
Is it a caste system though? They have like different levels.
I know they do, but I don't think we have enough to make it a caste system. I don't know. We can look at it afterwards.
They have dons and nons and everything. Like,
yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, like, when your whole society is based around hate and like essentially a type of racism.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be hard for you to gain the respect when you immediately look at a person that has a different eye color than you and just know that they're lower than you because of that.
Yeah.
So he's fighting he's fighting a upwards battle.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like, it's not even like it I think it's really interesting that it's not even like a race thing. It's like a theological division because like the light eyes are supposed to be closer to God. That's like, why they're like in charge.
Yeah, and like racism is not the word I want to use, but I can't think of the actual word just that I want to use.
Xenophobia?
No. Like it's not even like a word like that. It's just like a word like meaning hate essentially. And I can't, like, it's actually driving me a little insane. I can't think of man.
Hello, Nova.
I want to say it starts with an M. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Like
meanness.
No, it's like a longer word. We're not gonna get there. If I think, I'll probably think of it in 30 minutes. What?
I just had something noted down.
Yeah, what?
Oh. Kaladin found himself confiding in the man. He's talking about Moash. Most of the others idolized Kaladin, not Moash, who was as close to a real friend as Kaladin had known since being branded. So I really like that. But right before that, Moash like apologizes.
Yeah.
And he says, like, I'm not going to pretend I don't hate them, but I'll be civil. We have a duty. We'll do it well. Better than anyone expects. We're Bridge 4.
We're Bridge 4.
Man, Moash is... He's just rough around the edges. But he's kind of a cool guy.
Just a little rough around the edges.
That's it.
Yeah, I have one more thing marked here, and this is when we get into Dalinar's perspective. Well, it's not Dalinar's perspective, but Kaladin is in the room during...
With Dalinar, yeah.
During their meeting. And Dalinar turns to the king and he says, "For the longest time, I've forbidden him from him being Adolin important bouts, as the codes prohibit duels of honor between officers at war. More and more, however, I've come to realize that the others don't see themselves as being at war. They're playing a game. It's time to allow Adolin to duel the camp's other shard bearers in official bouts." And the king says so he can humiliate them. And Dalinar says it wouldn't be about humiliation, it would be about depriving them of their shards. The High Princes would have a hard time fighting against us if we controlled all the shard blades and shard plates in the army. Adolin, I want you to challenge the shard bearers of other High Princes in duels of honor, the prizes being the shards themselves.
It's a good plan.
Yeah. Because that's what, I mean, Kaladin also, like, accidentally steps in and, like, essentially speaks out of line here.
Yeah.
Which is something I just, like, wanted to note. But this is a really good plan because, like he says, like, every High Prince thinks it's a game.
Yeah.
Like, they don't see it as a war anymore. Like, Sadeas even says, like, in his perspective, when him and Ialai are talking, he's like, I'm tired of doing this. I just want to fight. And she's like, oh, but these little, you know, the chasm runs you're doing are making us rich.
And, like, that's the only reason why he's, like, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, to further.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got marked down here. Elhokar immediately likes Kaladin because Kaladin is super overprotective. He's like, he wants to do a good job, and he like tells Dalinar, I like this one. Why haven't you put him in charge of your guard before? And Dalinar just says, I haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Further on, Dalinar and Kaladin are talking, and he's like, a healthy paranoia makes the job easier for his bodyguard, sir.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't say it was healthy, and you call me sir. The common address is Bright Lord. I will use that term if you command, sir, but sir is an appropriate address even for a lighteyes. If he's your direct superior, I'm a High Prince. Speaking frankly, every man I've ever called Bright Lord has betrayed me. A few men I've called sir still have my trust to this day. I use one more reverently than the other, sir. You're an odd one, son. The normal ones are dead in the chasm, sir. Sadeas saw to that. This is a great interaction. I love that.
I like that interaction a lot as well. Especially with him being like, I'm calling you this because I revere you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Bright Lord as a term of respect.
Yeah.
I'm saying sir because I respect you.
Mm-hmm. It's great. And he says, like, if you want me to call you Bright Lord, I'll call you Bright Lord. However, that is not as respectful to me.
Yeah.
On the very next page, did you catch this?
What page are you on?
I'm on 97.
Okay.
Syl bobbed around the room, poking into nooks, crannies, and vases. She stopped at a paperweight on the woman's writing desk beside the king's chair, poking at the block of crystal with a strange kind of crab thing trapped inside. Were those wings?
No. I don't know.
You know what that is?
No.
Well, you'll find out in the next interlude.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I haven't read that interlude yet. Like, I definitely know what interlude you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I won't say anything right now because I don't think we've been introduced to that character yet.
No, we haven't. But that was just like a quick little, oh, hey.
A little nod to that.
Yeah, there's a little crab thing with wings. I wonder what that is.
I wonder what that could be.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for this chapter.
I don't really either. Yeah, I don't.
Cool.
Nothing of note.
Nothing of note. All right, chapter 6, Terrible Destruction.
Shallan and Jasnah have a discussion on surge binding and desolations and so on. Jasnah then gives Shallan a book called Words of Radiance, which covers the Order of Lightweavers. Before we start, I really like how this chapter kind of shows Jasnah taking down her walls a little bit and just be like, hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie.
Yeah, but like, I just really like this conversation. And then, because like, Shallan's so confused about what's going on, and Jasnah's like, we're going to get through this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
And also, Pattern is being very silly.
He's silly little guy. Yeah, immediately Pattern like talks about how he doesn't like, she explains what memory is to him, and he was like, my first like memory is with you. And he says, what? And he says green, food not eaten. She says plants. And he said, yeah, many plants. And he's talking about her father's garden. Mm-hmm. Which it's like, I don't know, like we know from Syl that like she has like memories with Kaladin from before she was like fully sentient.
Yeah.
But for Pattern to even have these memories when Shallan was like a child, crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And then
I
she
didn't
like,
even mark that, but it's just there.
She also like light weaves.
Yeah, when she's thinking about her father's garden, like it appears in front of her.
Yeah, and Yob sees it. He's just like, hey, what were you doing with those weird colors? And she's like, what?
Yeah, that's what I marked actually, where he says, what were you doing before, with the colors? She says, colors? He said, yeah, the deck turned green, eh? I swear I saw it. It has to do with that strange spren, does it? And she says, I'm trying to determine exactly what kind of spren it is. It is a scholarly matter. But it's interesting because here we see that she was light weaving, but also the fact that Pattern is visible to the sailors as well.
Which is different from Syl.
Yeah, because the only person that can see Syl besides Kaladin
is Rock,
unless she makes herself appear.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Pattern is like choosing to just be out and about, or if like just because he is a cryptic, he doesn't have the same ability as Syl to like.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah.
But
which is just like the difference between spren, and that's like because Yasna's spren as well doesn't like to be seen.
Yeah,
right?
the little inky guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this where she brings him up?
It's either. I think it might be because we talked about it in one of the early chapters, but they talk about it specifically in one of these.
This is another like lore dump chapter, and I don't.
Yeah. Shallan goes into Yasna's room and asks for spears, and Yasna says, have you been soul casting? Mm-hmm. And she said, no, I promised I wouldn't. And then she goes, oh, it's the second ability. Come in and close the door. Shallan goes in and she's like feeling really embarrassed, and Yasna's like, what did you do? And Shallan says, I seem to make plants appear. Well, really just the color. One of the sailors saw the deck turn green, but it vanished when I stopped thinking about the plants. And so she starts going through her book, stopping at an illustration. Shallan had seen it before, as it was an ancient. It was as ancient as Vorinism. 10 spears connected by lines, forming a shape like an hourglass on its side. 2 of the spears at the center looked almost like pupils, the double eye of the Almighty. 10 essences, 10 surges, 10 orders. And then Yasna's like, what does it mean? But yeah.
Yeah.
That's just Yasna. Like, Shallan goes to her and is like, I did this thing. And Yasna's like, she's like, that's crazy. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
And that's when they kind of get the whole thing where Yasna literally says like, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're like, oh, we're going to get through this together. And Shallan says to her on the next page, she says, you told me I could be a part of this. Yasna, if you're worried about something, and Yasna says, my worry is what it has always been, that I will be too late, that I'm incapable of doing anything meaningful to stop what is coming, that I'm trying to stop a high storm by blowing against it really hard. And Shallan says, the Voidbringers, the Parshmen.
Yes.
And it says, in the past, the desolation, the coming of the Voidbringers was supposedly always marked by a return of the heralds to prepare mankind. They would train the Knights Radiant, who would experience a rush of new members. And then Shallan says, but we captured the Voidbringers and enslaved them. And then Shallan says, so you think a kind of revolution is coming, that the Parshmen will turn against us as they did in the past? And Yasna says, yes. And this is where we find out, because Yasna's like, not Yasna. What was I going to say? Not Yasna. Shallan is like, well, we've enslaved them, and like, they're not seemingly very smart. Mm-hmm. So how how could they stage a revolution? And Yasna says the Parshendi can sing in time with one another no matter how far they are separated. They have some ability to communicate that we do not understand. I can only assume that their cousins, the Parshmen, have the same. Mm-hmm. So they may not need to hear a call in action to revolt.
It's scary.
It is scary to like enslave a whole people.
Yeah.
And then to be like, yeah, those people could like kill us though.
Yeah.
But they're literally like sleeper agents.
Oh yeah.
They get like a code
They
word.
are.
Yeah.
They are. They are like
literally.
sleeper agents, actually, now that you say that.
Yeah. As I said it, I was like, oh, I'm onto something.
Like the Winter Soldier. You don't understand what that means.
No.
No. Who cares?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I've been talking a lot. What do you have?
I really don't have much for this chapter. Unfortunately. Yeah.
They talk about Eurytheru.
They do talk about Eurytheru, which is like the city that like where the Radiance were just like chilling.
That was like their
That was like their base, their HQ, and like Yasna thinks that it's not in the Shattered Plains, but the way to get there is in the Shattered Plains. Yeah. So, but that's cool. Like I feel like a lot of this chapter is just like lore dump, straightforward. We were getting answers. We get a good moment with Shallan and Yasna.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nice.
And then
then the chapter ends with she awoke to screams, shouts, and smoke. Womp womp.
oh my god.
Shallan awakes to 3 men killing Yasna. She freaks out and locks herself in her room. Through the means of her ability, she eludes them, and she also sinks the ship in an attempt to stop the other killings.
Oh. I don't like this one. I don't like it.
I have here marked that pattern says sword. The sword. And Shallan's like, no, I can't do that. It's a nightmare. And then he's like, use the light. And then she like light weaves a figure to look like her.
That's what I marked as well.
Yeah, to like run past them.
And they follow it,
yeah,
too.
they follow it.
Because like the way that the book describes it, it says a cloud of light leaped from Shallan, more stormlight streaming from her body to join it. It formed a vague upright shape, an illuminated blur. And so like in my head, it was just like a glowing figure. Mm-hmm. But like, as we know that, I guess we don't know yet. But like, I don't know, like, cause I'm like, why would they chase like a glowing thing? But like you being like, oh yeah, like it just was a figure.
Yeah.
But I think because like it's so much light described around it, I was just like, why would they chase like a lighted figure? I don't know.
Because like, what else could it be? Like, oh, that has to be her. She's the only one down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is she glowing?
Why? Why did they kill Yasna? Who knows?
I know they killed Yasna.
Yeah.
It's
good riddance.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh my god. I just like my heart stopped when you said that. I would reach over and smack you if I wasn't so comfortable.
You don't have the guts.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
But I'm real cozy over here.
So she also successfully soul casts. Like pattern helps her.
Yeah.
Which is like really cool.
Yeah.
I really like, what is I'm trying to find yes. When she's like actively talking to the ship and pattern is like translating for her. Yeah, and she's
I
like,
marked that as well.
And it's just like, no, I serve. And he's like, the ship is like constantly saying no, and then finally like she like makes an argument where like she's like, these people that you served will be killed if you do not do this. And like it finally says like, okay, I will change.
I will change. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the last service like that it could do.
Yeah.
Change for them.
This whole chapter just makes me depressed.
You know what that chapter reminded me of?
What?
One Piece.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm not going to say why.
I wouldn't know even if you did.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Yet.
All right. Do you have anything else for this chapter?
No.
Okay.
No. Did you?
No, I'm just depressed now.
Oh, okay.
Because I love Yasna.
Chapter 8. Knives in the back. Soldiers in the front.
Soldiers on the field.
Soldiers in the front.
I do want to say, Navani's thing right here says, I seek not to use my grief as an excuse, but it is an explanation. People act strangely soon after encountering an unexpected loss. Though Yasna had been away for some time, her loss was unexpected. I, like many, assumed her to be immortal.
Yeah.
Untouchable.
Dalinar and Aladar are watching a battle unfold in front of them. After much discussion, and Dalinar telling Aladar that there will be consequences going forward, the Barshendi end up changing tactics and winning the Gem Heart. Later, Dalinar receives a letter saying an old friend is coming. Yeah.
I don't think I only have one note in this entire chapter.
Go ahead.
This we get kind of a look into how Gavilar was perceived or perceived as king.
Yeah.
And Dalinar says, I'm done cajoling, Aladar. I'm done asking. When you disobey Elhokar, you mock my brother and what he stood for. I will have a unified kingdom. Amusing, Aladar said. Good of you to mention Gavilar, as he didn't bring the kingdom together with honor. He did it with knives in the back and soldiers on the field, cutting the heads off any who resisted. Are we back to that again, then? Such things don't sound much like the fine words of your precious book. So, yeah, like I said, just kind of a look into how someone who's not Dalinar viewed Gavilar's rule. I don't know. That's my only comment on that one. It's just,
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, good, I think, just, would you call it prose?
Prose?
Yeah, just that I like. Just a lot of... Like, I got this stuff marked here. The war camps needed a constant influx of cheap slaves to feed the monster. I just like how that's worded.
Yeah.
Let's see. From now on, Adolin would lead the battles. Dalinar would change the world. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We get a good part here where Dalinar's kind of talking about Aladar has like a blade, but he's lending it to somebody else, and like they kind of explain like that you can lend somebody your blade,
but it takes like an extreme amount of trust.
Yeah, because that person giving you that blade can just like summon it whenever they want. Yeah. So that's cool. That's pretty rad. I like that a lot. And then Parshendi changed their tactics, and then Dalinar's like, whoa. Oh yeah, and they see the shard bearer. They see the Parshendi shard bearer.
Yes. Which has never happened before.
Yeah.
They've never stayed after the battle to just like watch. And they also are just, every time they see the Parshendi shard bearer, they're just like so confused as to like, why didn't they join the battle? Like the whole time it was like, why did they not do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my god, that scared me.
At least you have ice now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else for that chapter.
Let's go to Walk in the Grave.
Walk in the Grave.
Walk in the Grave. Bridgeford goes down into the chasms to train the other bridgemen. They discuss Dalinar's plan. Syl tells Kaladin that there are others like him, and Sigil convinces Kaladin to let them test his abilities. Yeah? I don't think I really have a lot of notes for this chapter. No. I do have where Syl says
Where he's thinking still about someone getting into Dalinar's chambers. He's like, how could they have gotten in? And then he asked Syl, could a spren have made those glyphs on the wall?
I got that marked as well.
Yeah, and she says, I don't know. I've seen... And he says, what? And she says, spren like red lightning. Dangerous spren. Spren I haven't seen before. I catch them in the distance on occasion. Storm spren? Something dangerous is coming. About that, the glyphs are right. And then this is also where they have the conversation where he goes, Syl, are there others like me? And she goes, oh. He says, oh? She goes, oh. That question. He says, you've been expecting it then? She says, yeah, sort of. He says, okay, great. So you've had plenty of time to think about and answer. And so, yeah. This is where she's like, I don't really know how to... like, she's like, I don't know, essentially. She's like, I don't know if there's other people like you. But this is also where he's like, I don't know, it makes me wonder if you've come up with a lie. And she says, lie? What do you think I am, a cryptic?
Yeah.
And he goes, what's a cryptic? And she's like, I actually have no
idea.
But yeah, those two interactions where she says, I've seen these spren that look like red lightning, because that's something that's new. And then also just the conversation of, are there other people that are like me that have my powers?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any other notes in that chapter though. That's it.
Rock comes and Syl is kind of, poking fun at him. And Rock is just like, I worship you.
Yeah.
I want to make a shrine to you. And then they're going to go hang out with Sigil and test his abilities, which is pretty cool. This next chapter, red carpet, once white. I will read you my description. This chapter is like a full page. Like it's like maybe a full page. Do you want to hear my description,
Sure.
Whitney? Whoa. Whoa. Like that's it.
Yeah. Well, I
Crazy.
like that we have, for I guess like the chapter indicator, it's pattern.
Yeah.
Which I think is nice. And it's 6 years ago.
Yes.
And
that remains Shallan's symbol from now on.
Really?
In the rest of the book, yes, I checked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, well, hold on.
Because the next one. But look.
Oh, I see it.
If you notice,
yeah.
this one's inverted.
And then, yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. I want
Fun printing things.
Yeah. Interesting. Little Easter egg. Yeah, so this page of a chapter is Shallan's father telling her it's fine, everything's okay, and he wipes blood off her face and she just sees corpses and he's like singing her a lullaby, being like, it's fine, everything's fine, it's gonna be okay. And that's it. That's the chapter.
It. And then she wakes up.
Yeah, and then she wakes up on land.
Yeah. Shallan wakes up on a rock, being saved by the Santhid. She finds Yasna's trunk on the beach, tries to soulcast to make a fire, and finally wanders in a campsite, and then falls unconscious. When she wakes up, she girl bosses and makes them take her to the Shower Plains. She did!
She girl boss. This is so funny.
She girl bosses. What do you mean?
She does girl boss. You're right, Ryan. No, that's such a funny way to put that. Something I want to say right off the bat here.
Tavlakov's. He's back, baby.
I don't think I remembered it being him again.
Really?
I don't remember that.
Oh, I had to remember him.
I was like, I knew it was like... I knew that she ended up like in a caravan of some sort, but I did not realize it was Tavlakov specifically.
Oh yeah. It's him and Bluth, and like
Yeah.
Because they're on the way back from the Shattered Plains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually marked one thing here, and I did it on purpose so we could talk about it. Pattern is on the sand. or in the sand, and he ends up finding people. And so she's like, all right, but whenever he speaks, he kind of vibrates, and it says he vibrated in the sand.
Oh, yeah.
Grains jumped and shook as he spoke, rising and falling around him. I recognized that, Shalon thought, frowning at him. Sand on a plate. Capsule.
I had that marked as well.
We are really like on the same brain with this today.
Because this whole thing, we were so confused if it was even real or not.
The cymatics,
because and then I sent you an Instagram reel where it was like a guy doing it, and I was just like,
it's real.
Whitney, because we knew it was real because somebody in our beautiful comments that you should totally check out and comment something left and said, yeah, it's real.
Yeah, because like I was pretty sure it was real, but like literally we were talking about something earlier, and I like once Ryan questioned me about it, I wasn't so sure anymore. So the second like that we were questioning like, is cymatics a real thing? I was like, because in my head before that I was like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
But then like once we were questioning it, I was like, well, I mean, but how real is it?
Yeah, because like that was my whole thing too. I was like, why are we talking about this again, dude? My whole thing was, it's like real to an extent, right? But not to this extent. But no, it's real to that extent.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Whatever. We talked our gourds off about this.
We really have.
Yeah.
This is like 3 episodes running at this point.
Because we've talked about it outside of this. And that's,
yeah. It's crazy. Anyways.
Let's go get some sand and some music.
Yeah, let's figure it out. But yeah, I don't have any notes actually in this chapter or the next one. I do like we get the classic Cosmere meme, I am a stick scene
and
here.
I got something to say.
You don't like it?
I like it. Folks, let's pick a different joke. Let's find a different joke. I'm just saying. It's really funny.
What my favorite Cosmere like meme is the sword from Warbreaker.
Oh. What meme? Like
the hello, would you like to destroy some evil today?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's like my favorite Cosmere meme bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The stick thing, I think it's funny. I'm glad people enjoy it, but like
doesn't do it for you.
I'm tired of seeing it. I've seen it too much.
Yeah, that's fair. You're allowed to think that.
That makes me sound like a fuddy dud, but no.
No, it's okay. We've been in this for a while now.
I've been in it.
We've been in it.
It's like God, you haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I love Fullmetal Alchemist.
It's like
I've seen both.
It's like the one joke they make.
Yeah.
You know, the one joke the fandom makes.
Yeah. And
it's so old.
Yeah.
It's tired.
But it's okay.
Anyway.
You can only have so much content when you're getting it out of books.
I think there's a
lot of content.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, with these books specifically, there's not, like, that many, like, funny moments.
That's not true. I follow some funny Cosmere accounts.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. Shout out Cosmere Junkie.
Oh, yeah, Cosmere. You always send me their memes.
Yeah, because Cosmere Junkie is funny. If Cosmere Junkie is listening to this, hi.
Shout out.
That's probably not. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. She girl bosses.
She does girl boss.
Because she does WWJD. What would Yasna do?
What would Yasna do?
Yeah.
She says, get my trunk. We're going to the Shattered Plains.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, let me take you to the Shallow Crypt. Like, that's so much closer. And she's like, no. I have to be somewhere. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Girl boss.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, she finds Yasna's trunk, which like has her life's work in it, which I guess is important.
Yeah, which is a good thing that got saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is the last chapter of part 1.
Wow. We kind of boogied through this one.
Yeah, it was a shorter one.
Yeah.
The boys have a good old time testing Kaladin's abilities, then everything changes when Kaladin sees that Amaram is in the war camps.
Yeah, I actually don't have any notes for this chapter.
I don't either, but I really like learning. Yeah, I don't have any notes, but we'll bring up. So we'll touch on some stuff. So Sigil makes it a point to where it's just like, okay, so you can do this.
He's trying to scholar it.
He's trying to like figure out like a measurement for like
like, what is
Cal's
the
abilities.
baseline?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out the baseline of Cal's abilities.
And then, like, they talk about, like, oh, how can you use this in combat? And then they see how he can use it in combat, and he just kind of makes him, he poops on him.
Yeah, I kind of really like when he turns around and Rock just has a whole log.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's so funny to me.
Because you kind of forget sometimes that Rock is this, like, mammoth of a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a horn eater.
He's a horn eater.
Yeah, so that whole scene's funny. It's cool.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much to say about it.
Yeah. And then at the end, let's see. A hero has come to the Shattered Plains. The soldier yelled back. He's going to meet with Bright Lord Colin. Perhaps support him. It's a good sign. Might help calm things down around here. What's this? Rock called back. Who? The soldier said a name. Kaladin's heart became ice.
He took off running.
Yeah, and so he ran and found Dalinar.
He literally walks up as they are shaking hands. They're clasping hands, and he's like, "Oh, good to see you, brother." They're dapping each other up essentially,
Yeah.
and then Kaladin's like, "That's the man who stole my shard blade, branded my forehead, and sold me into slavery." And that's the end of part 1.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Yo, this nuts.
This nuts. That's part 1 of Words of Radiance. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Banger.
Banger.
I think I say that every time we're done with something.
Dude.
I'm like, that's a banger.
Yeah, no. So, what'd you think of part 1, Wit?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Traumatizing because Yasna dies.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her. She's my favorite character.
Yeah.
So it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Amaram's back.
Amaram's back.
That's a huge thing. Shallan's on her way. She's betrothed to Adolin.
Not yet.
They were talking about
They
it.
were talking about it. She's supposed to be.
She's supposed to be betrothed to Adolin.
Yeah.
There's just a lot going on. There was a lot that happened.
Yeah.
Betrothal, death, Amaram.
Lopin.
Lope.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a joke, but my brain was not all the way there.
Yeah. I would probably say this is my favorite Stormlight book.
Yeah.
Going back over it, I'm really excited for the next part. I'm really excited to talk about these next interludes. There's 4 interludes. You know that?
Yes. There's 2 I'm very excited about.
The first one.
The first one?
We'll go ahead and say it's Yim.
Narok.
Nope, it's the second one. Yim.
Yim.
I think it's Yim. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I have no idea.
It's just YM.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is probably my favorite interlude.
Really?
I think in the whole series. So
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah, it's probably my favorite interlude. So
I haven't started reading this part yet, so it's not
slacker.
current in my brain. Hey, man.
If you were a Pokemon, you'd be slacking. I'm sorry.
What do you think of this part, Ryan?
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's kind of like how I felt with part 1 of the Way of Kings. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of setup. It's a lot slower.
I feel like so much still happens in this part, though.
Oh, so much still does happen in this part. Don't get me wrong. We get a lot of good character moments. I like this part, and I kind of like so. It's sort of the reason why I like this book a lot more than The Way of Kings. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of character interactions.
Yeah.
We get a lot of dialogue between characters that we didn't really get to see in the previous book, I feel like, because we finally get okay, Kaladin and Dalinar are starting to have a relationship. Yasna and Shallan are starting to develop their relationship more.
Yeah.
We see Kaladin and like Moash and all the other bridgemen now that they're like not bridgemen anymore. They're like being bodyguards and everything. So, yeah, and it's just like more interesting to me to like, because like we said it, book one was like all set up.
Yeah.
And this is just like, okay, so where are we getting paid off by that setup
Right.
here? And that comes down to like a lot of character interaction and stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I really liked. Just a lot of good moments. Like I told you, like we kind of like with Shallan and Yasna, just be like, yeah, this is like a straightforward chapter and everything. There's still like good moments where they're just like talking to each other and everything. So
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else about the book today.
I don't have anything else about the book to say either, Wit. So
Whoa! I just pulled that out between her toes.
yeah.
Little kitty fur.
Ew.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to just yap a little bit.
Yeah, so
if you're leaving us now,
thank you
thank you.
for being here and listening.
Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, tell your mom, tell your dad.
And we'll see you next week for part 2
Yes.
of Words of Radiance.
Words of Radiance.
Woo, 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 woo. Yap session.
Yap session. Hello.
Yap session.
Yap session. The stupid cat.
I found, like, I thought it was just going to be, like, a couple hairs that was, like, stuck in between my cat's toes. And then I pulled it out, and it was a whole fluff of fur. So now I put it on her head like a little toupee. So if you want to see that, go to youtube.com/listenercast.
What a goober.
She looks cute.
Whitney,
Ryan?
what have you been doing this week?
Been rewatching Orange is the New Black.
Uh-huh.
I have devoured that show this entire week.
Uh-huh.
That was like a comfort show for me in high school. So
Yeah.
back on that, just rewatching it, having a good time. I did finish my book, The Personal Librarian.
Oh, yeah.
Finished that.
How was that?
It was pretty good.
Yeah?
I enjoyed it. I think if you like historical fiction, it's good. I will say I have liked other historical fiction books, but also this isn't typically the part of history that I like to read about.
What part of history?
Like the 1900s, like the 1900s, like the 1900s, like 1900s, 1910s.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it's about, like I've said it on podcast before, but it's about J.P. Morgan's like personal library assistant.
Yeah.
And it was really important because like it was like the first, like she was a black woman, and but she was so like light skinned that she passed as just like
Yeah.
racially ambiguous, and she
Right.
was like, oh, my grandmother's from Portugal, but she was still like European. Is
Right.
how like they kind of covered it up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really cool part of history to learn about, and I know that a lot of like parts of it are just like fictionalized, but it is still a true story regardless.
Uh-huh.
And it was cool. It was a cool part of history I didn't know about. I enjoyed the writing pretty well. It's written by 2 women.
Cool.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm taking a little break, reading a little fun one right now. Shoot, what is it called? Oh, Finley Donovan is killing it.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah. It's so I'm reading.
You told me about that. That's right.
Yeah, I'm reading these. So my aunts gave me 3 books to borrow. The Personal Librarian was one, and Finley Donovan's the other one, and then the third one is A Gentleman in Moscow.
Uh-huh.
And they said A Gentleman in Moscow is a little slow, but you really have to give it a chance. It's a fantastic book. So after reading The Personal Librarian, I was like, I don't want to go into another historical fiction book right away.
Yeah.
So I've been reading Finley Donovan in between, and it's very, very easy read. It's very fun. It's about a mom of 2 who's kind of like a failing writer, and then she ends up like accidentally becoming a hit woman.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun time.
Yeah.
But it's cute. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's easy read. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a 5-star read, but it's
Right.
it's a fun book, and it's a good break between the two, because I know I'm going to read A Gentleman in Moscow next, and
Right.
that's going to be a heftier one. Because
Cool.
like 3 of my aunts have read it, actually.
Oh, okay.
My aunts who are married, they both read it. And then my aunt Donna, who is my my dad's sister
Okay.
that lives in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I FaceTimed her recently and we were talking about books, and I told her that Kathy had lended me that one. And she was like, oh my God, I just finished that book. It was incredible. I was like, wow.
Wow.
So big hit in my family for
Yeah.
A Gentleman in Moscow. So I'll be reading that one next once I finish Finley Donovan is Killing It. But that one is a fun time right now. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I've talked about the books that I read. I don't think I have.
I don't think you have. The only one you've talked about is the Children of...
Children of Ruin. I finished it.
You finished it?
I finished it.
What do you think?
I gave it four stars.
4 stars?
Not as good as the first one, but still enjoyable.
Was the first one a 5-star read to you?
To me, it was a 5-star read.
Okay.
I know to you it was a 4-star read.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it. Took me forever to get through it. But it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then the very next day,
Oh, you got that book that you sent me.
I got home from recording the podcast. I got a book in the mail.
Yeah. Talk about your book.
It was Lilith Hesperak's Queen of Knives, a Warhammer novel written by Mike Brooks, who's probably my favorite Warhammer novelist. He's also just like a fantasy sci-fi writer, and I have not checked out his like original stuff yet. But his Warhammer stuff I really, really like.
Nice.
And this was good. This was exactly what I needed. Something fun. Something a little silly.
That's where I'm at right now
Yeah.
with a Finley book.
It was only 200 pages, so I
good.
read half of it that night, read the second half the next night.
Yeah.
Out of his other books that I've read, I'll probably put it at the bottom, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you reading anything else right now, or have you been focused on Words of Radiance?
I've been focused on Words of Radiance mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just mainly focusing on Words of Radiance. I've read through the interludes already, and I've started part 2, of course.
Nice.
Like a good podcast book club man.
Okay, I'll get there eventually.
I'm not trying to call you out, Whitney. You could have said nothing.
I know. I am so bad about like waiting until the day before and then
That's
reading
fresh in your
400
mind.
pages.
It's fresh in your mind. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know, like, if I don't do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to forget to do it.
I literally texted you about it where I was like, I promised myself every week, you know what? I'm just going to read a couple chapters every night before I go to bed so that way I don't have to cram. And then you know what I end up doing every week? Cramming.
Yeah. I remember I only had like 2 chapters left for part 1. I was just like, let me listen to it while like I make my breakfast and make some coffee. And then I was like, starting where you left off on previous, and I was like, that's not where I was. So I left it be, and I went back like maybe 30 minutes later to like try and listen to it again while I was like doing some stuff around the house.
Yeah.
I was like starting back where you left off previously, and then I texted you and I said, are we fighting right now? And you were so confused. You're like, are we?
Yeah, no, because there was no previous text.
No.
Ryan just texted me out of nowhere and said, are we fighting right now? And so in my brain, I'm like, oh, did I do something like, are we?
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong? And then you're like, over the book. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you were listening to it right then.
Yeah, I was. I like woke up that morning and I was like, you know what? I'm going to knock out as much of this as I can. Yep.
Cool. No, it was fun. It was funny. I ended up like reading it like later on that day or something. I think it was like the next day or something.
Yeah, I think I'm like retaining more from these books because like
You're listening and reading at the same time.
I'm listening and reading, but also the fact that we sit down and talk about it every week, I feel like I'm remembering more than like when I've just sat down and read these on my own.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
Great. I mean, we're taking our time with it, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, we'll be here for part 2, but part 3 will be delayed by a week.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to visit my mom in Florida, like the 3rd week of August to see her. So I will not be up here to record. So we are going to be taking that week off. That's the week of the 19th, I think is the dates on that. I think I'm like gone like the 19th through the 21st or something.
Not next week, but the week after?
Yeah, the 3rd week. It's the week before Dragon Con.
Yeah, that's like the 19th is Monday, so.
Yeah, so we'll be taking that week off. Sorry about it, but I gotta go see my mom.
Yeah.
And we definitely do not have enough time to backlog because we're already late on this one. So if we tried to read through part 2 and 3 in the next 4 days, I think we'd implode.
Yeah.
Plus, we have plans tomorrow night, so we can't read.
Yeah, Whitney, what are we doing tomorrow night?
We are going to Round 1, which I'm sure a lot of people have where they live. I know it's like a big chain, but it's basically like Dave and Buster's like intensified. They have like all these like Japanese rhythm games that are so much fun, and we're going to dinner. We're doing a triple date.
A triple date, not a double date, a triple date.
Yeah. So I'm meeting all of us. It's like our friend group is going. It's like a bunch of our friends. It's our first time meeting Ryan's new girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah. You've been like wanting to meet Brittany for a long time.
I know. She seems so cool.
She's very, I think you guys will get along well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Yeah. She'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, we're having a fun little triple date with our friends tomorrow.
Yeah. It's going to be really fun. I'm very excited for it. I've been kind of like anticipating it all week.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it as well. So we're going to eat some pasta and then play some games.
Do they have that funny drum game?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
What is it called?
I forget. Taika.
I don't know.
It's
red and blue drum.
Yeah. Like the blue and the red guy. Yeah. No, the one they have is entirely in Japanese.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
You play the Switch version?
No.
It sucks.
I believe that.
Yeah.
They have like maps on Osu that are set up for that.
That's cool.
Yeah. You can like play it on your keyboard, but like it's not nearly as fun as just like hitting a drum.
I remember like the day I found out you played Osu. Like I was just on Discord and it like says like, oh, Bug playing Osu, and I texted you. I was like, are you playing Osu right now? And you were like, yeah. Like,
what about it?
Yeah, literally, it was like that. I was like, I didn't know you played rhythm games. I'm sorry.
I like rhythm games a lot.
I didn't know you liked rhythm games.
You're gonna see me. What's that song from Undertale? Megalovania.
Yeah.
You're gonna see me go absolutely crazy on a rhythm game tomorrow playing Megalovania.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
There's a rhythm game at round 1 that I absolutely slam at.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
Have you played Undertale?
I have played partway through it.
Okay.
I always got stuck on the spider part.
Okay, I haven't played Undertale. I attempted to play Undertale one time.
Yeah.
And I was in Discord. And then I couldn't get the game volume to turn down.
That's the worst part, is that you can't turn the game volume down.
Hey, that sucks that
Toby
you can't
Fox?
turn the game volume down.
I have beef with you.
Dude, it's literally like, oh yeah, one of the most probably culturally relevant games.
Beloved
by many, like, people adore that game.
Yeah.
You can't turn the game volume down.
It's
like,
crazy.
That's literally like...
No, because
I get that music is important. But also...
I'm trying to be on Discord with my friends, because I had the same experience where I pulled up Undertale one time to play while we were in Discord. And then I was like, I can't turn the volume down.
And maybe we're just stupid. Maybe there is a way, but I don't think there is.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was blasting in my ears, and then my friends are talking over it, and I'm like, I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, I was like, it's not worth it.
It's not. Yeah.
Because I'd rather talk to my friends than
play Undertale by myself because my friends are in the Discord and I like to talk to my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that was my one attempt at playing Undertale.
Yeah.
By opening the menu and like being hit by music.
Being like, how do I turn it down?
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I'll find myself attempting to play it again.
Yeah, I did like my initial run. I didn't realize that you could do like pacifist or like where you fought people. And so like I just went treating it like a fighting game.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get past the spiders, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And then I realized you could do a pacifist run, so I was like, oh, let me try that. Still couldn't get past the freaking spiders.
Yeah, that was like the reason. Was it Markiplier?
I don't know.
Do you know about that controversy?
No.
It was like some big YouTuber. I want to say it was Markiplier who like got bullied
What?
from his playthrough.
Really?
Because the Undertale fans at the time went like rabid.
Oh, I remember how
And-
like brutal it was.
Yeah.
I was on Tumblr when Undertale came out.
But like they got so mad that he was not doing a pacifist run.
Let the man play the game.
Yeah.
That's what you watch a YouTuber for, is to watch them play the game. You are not the one playing it.
Yeah.
If you want to do a pacifist run, play it yourself.
Well, I do know like the only way to hear the song Megalovania is by doing a genocide run,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Which is the best song ever
Isn't it?
written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever written.
Ever
You
written.
heard it here
It's
first.
Megalovania by Tony Fox.
Whitney
Tony
thinks
Fox.
Megalovania is one of the great. And if you believe that, I'm happy for you. I'm really, really happy for you.
Top 5 songs
Top 5 songs
ever.
ever?
Ever.
I can tell you like one of my top 5 and you already know it.
Is it Anti-Amorous by Omerta?
No.
No? Oh.
That was a weird pull. You know it.
I do. I can't think of what that Food House song.
No.
Something by Steely Dan.
Maybe. But I'm thinking of one song. I can listen to this song every day of my life. And you also love this song. Do you want a hint?
Yeah.
What is that on your TV console right there?
Miku.
Uh-huh.
Is it the Anamanaguchi song?
Yeah, it's Miku by Anamanaguchi.
Nice.
I could listen to that song every day of my life.
That's how I feel about Magical Cure Love Shot by Sawtone featuring Husky.
Ah, got you.
That's the one that is the Miku Miku Bee.
Oh, yeah.
You ever just like say stuff out loud and you're just like, wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one
Here, I'll
of those
do
moments for me
Miku,
just now.
Miku, ooh wee oo.
Ooh wee oo.
Ooh wee oo.
I also love that song by Deco 27, Vampire. I'll show you that one. Actually, it's on some of the rhythm games, so I'll show you tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slam at it.
I'm sure you will.
Let's see. Give me some more of your top songs.
Top song. That's so hard.
I remember being on the Salt Flats and you played
Miku.
Miku.
Yeah, and I said this is a top 5 song.
That was just a memory.
That's why I said you should know this.
Yeah.
And then you look back at me and it's like, yeah, this is like a very good top 5 song.
It is. It's a really good song.
It's a great song. And like
We gotta go to Miku Expo next year,
I
Ryan.
don't know.
We should go.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go next year.
Yeah, I know you're gonna go. I'm trying to think. It's really hard for me to pick like a top 5 songs. I gave you like my artists,
Sure.
probably.
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Hatsune Miku.
Not Hatsune Miku. She's not up there, unfortunately. Steely Dan is up there. Pink Floyd is up there. Do you know I was a Pink Floyd guy? I don't think I've talked to you about
no.
that. Yeah, no, I love them.
Nice.
God, I'm gonna sound like such a dad. Caroline Polachek,
Oh yeah.
MCR,
Yeah.
Eagles. I own every Eagle album, like on vinyl.
I own every Eagle.
I do.
Every eagle.
I'm the reason they're going extinct. I'm a terrible pet owner.
Oh my god.
She lost her thing.
Yeah, her toupee fell off. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Miss
Oh,
Girl.
I just got a record in the mail that I'm going to talk to you about right now.
What record?
Floating into the Night.
By who?
Julie Cruz.
Not familiar.
Julie Cruz is a singer who did a lot of the music for David Lynch
Okay.
in like his projects and stuff. So
Yeah.
she did like all of the singing, like the songs with vocals in Twin Peaks. Mm-hmm. She also has a song that's on that record in Blue Velvet, which I just watched this week for the first time.
Nice.
But $20 on Amazon. I love that record.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's very vibey. I think you would like it.
Probably. Speaking of music, my friend showed me a band. Ooh, it's in French. It's like Le Impertinent. I don't even know. They're a huge band.
Yeah.
It starts with an L and then it's like an IMP word. L''IMP. And
I'm going to see if I can just look it up.
you can.
L''.
L''IMP.
IMP.
Did it come up?
La Imperatrice?
Yes! Dude, they're great. It's like funky, like, I would say
Cool.
some of their stuff I would say is disco leaning,
Okay.
but it's fun.
Oh,
My
they
friend-
just had a record come out.
Yeah, the new record's really good. I listened to it.
Pulsar. I'm going to just add this and I'll listen to it later.
Yeah, it's cool. Just fun little bop your head to it music.
Yeah. It's always a good time.
I listened to the new Claro album. I liked it. I'm not
glad you did.
I'm not like a big Claro fan.
Yeah.
Like not that I don't like her. Like I like her music and I respect what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just don't put on Claro in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So-
You know I'm not a Claro guy.
Yeah.
So
So
like, I get
it's-
it.
Yeah, like I said, respect what she's doing, and the new album was good. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I've like listened to.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you some of my top artists.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I really like Every Time I Die.
Yeah? Why's that? Oh, hey.
I don't know. Every Time I Die is one of my favorites. I wish they were not broken up, but the two bands that came out of the brothers have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Better Lovers and Many Eyes.
Yeah.
Greyhaven. I am wearing a Greyhaven shirt right now.
Yeah.
Shout out Greyhaven. Spirit Box is one of my big ones.
Mm-hmm. I gotta listen to more Spirit Box.
I love Courtney LaPlante. That is my wife.
Uh-huh.
I love her. Let's see. Knocked Loose is one of my big ones as well.
Knocked Loose has become one of my favorite bands as
That
well.
new record was so good.
That it might be like my favorite record of theirs.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm trying to think like what else is my like top artists.
I'm a big Charlie XCX fan.
I do like Brat.
Yeah.
I'm having a Brat summer.
Have you listened to her other records?
No. I will. Honestly, like I've been at work and
Yeah.
having the opportunity to like I can't listen to metal when I'm at work.
Uh-huh.
Like I just get too distracted, and so I've been listening to like more pop oriented stuff or
Yeah.
just like more indie oriented things when I'm working.
Yeah.
Because if I know the songs, like I just can't get anything done. So
Right.
I've been listening to a bunch of things that I've like I guess like backlogged in a way. So I'll do that. I'll add her to my list.
You should check out Charlie.
I finally listened to Ethel Cain for the first time.
I saw you listened to Ethel Cain. You posted it.
Yeah,
and I was like,
really liked one song or a couple songs off that album.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Ethel Cain's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, that's what I got for you.
That's what you got for me?
That's what I got for you.
I used to be a big Kanye guy. Not really a big.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm not really a big Kanye guy anymore.
Yeah, probably a good choice.
Yeah. You just separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
But
Oh, have you listened to the new Gambino record?
I haven't.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah.
Under that like
Yeah.
name.
I really liked it. I'm not gonna lie. There's some hits on there.
Cool.
Quite a few hits, I would say. And he's from Georgia. He grew up down the road.
Nice.
Stone Mountain.
That's awesome.
/ Lithonia.
Yeah.
So, floppy dog.
This is a record that I went back to from earlier this year. Coagulated Bliss.
By who?
Full of Hell.
Okay. I haven't really listened to them.
I tried to get into Full of Hell with their earlier stuff, and I couldn't do it because I'm not really like a big death metal guy.
Yeah, I'm not really like death and slam metal don't really.
I listened to this record though.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's a lot more palatable.
They took that Torture album off Spotify.
What Torture album?
The band Torture I showed you.
Oh, the band Torture that you showed me. Why'd they take it off Spotify?
I don't know, but it happened yesterday while I was at band practice. I held my head in my hands and I said, "No! No!
No!"
I think I'm going to go see them live later this year, though.
Where are they going?
They're going to be at the Masquerade with Gates to Hell.
Okay.
Not Full of Hell, Gates to Hell. And Cruelty, which is a Japanese hardcore band that I really like. They're from Tokyo. I saw them last year. They were super cool.
We both like a hardcore Japanese band.
What? Which one do you like?
Idol group. Hardcore idol group.
Oh, Hanabi?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're hardcore. They're like metalcore.
Yeah, whatever.
They put out a new song the other day. It's really good. Did you listen to it?
I haven't listened to it. No, I saw that it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, Hanabi's great. Yeah, that's my music content for the day.
yeah. No, I get it. Wait, I've watched a good bit of movies.
Over the last week?
Yeah.
Dang.
No. Would you like to know what movies I watched?
Sure.
I have some that I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay. So I watched Blue Velvet.
Okay.
For the first time.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
It's a David Lynch movie.
Right. Because you said that earlier when you were talking about the lady. It's
starring Kyle MacLachlan, who is our main character in Twin Peaks, and also the original Dune.
Yes.
Also directed by David Lynch. It's incredible. I loved it. Very, very young Laura Dern in that movie. Have you seen Jurassic Park?
A long time ago.
Okay, she's like one of the main characters in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm not good with names at all. I'm a face person.
Dennis Hopper's in this movie where he plays a crazy person. Legitimately one of the most insane people I've ever seen.
Okay.
And he does such a good job. And I couldn't tell you some of his famous quotes that are in that movie because we want to keep it PG.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's very funny. So I think you should watch that movie.
What is it streaming on?
It's either Max or Amazon.
Okay, we have both of those.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those. I also watched a movie called Freaked.
Okay.
This is a movie.
That's your review?
Do you want me to read you the description of this?
I guess.
But ugly, but funny. A vain actor, his best friend, and an activist end up at a mutant freak farm run by a weirdo scientist.
Yeah, man.
This is a movie from 1993 put out by 21st Century Fox that feels like the actor Alex Winter, who also directed this movie, Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, really just wanted to mess with the studio and waste so much money and make an intentionally stupid movie that ends up somehow being kind of good.
Okay.
The prosthetics and the makeup in this movie are insane.
Really?
But they're insane.
Okay.
Because they have a guy, his name is Screaming Mad George.
Yeah.
And he's like a very famous like makeup artist, and I can't remember the others who worked on this, but they're also like big in the game and everything. This movie is bananas, and they don't care about this movie at all. So you can just watch it for free on YouTube. It is uploaded on YouTube completely for free.
That's awesome.
Because the studio does not care. And it's starring Alex Winter, Randy Quaid, and Mr. T's in this movie. Playing the bearded lady.
That's awesome.
Uncredited. Keanu Reeves.
Oh. Hello?
Playing Ortiz the dog boy.
Okay. What did you rate it?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Because that just felt right to me.
Okay.
The same night.
Okay.
I watched another movie. Did a double feature.
What movie?
Shock Treatment.
Never heard of it.
Have you seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Not in a long, long time.
This is the sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay. Still a musical?
Still a musical.
Okay.
Just as terrible. But not as fun as the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You don't like Rocky Horror?
I do like Rocky Horror.
You said just as terrible.
Yeah, Rocky Horror is a bad movie.
Okay.
But, like, that's the point. It's a good bad movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From how you said it, I thought maybe you hated it.
No, I love Rocky Horror.
Okay.
The next time
I needed to clarify.
No, the next time I go to, like, the Rocky Horror, like, show,
Yeah.
I'll get an S. Because I've seen it, like, over 5 times.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
They always showed at the Plaza Theater downtown.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, midnight. Listeners, if you haven't seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, go see a midnight showing. It's fun. Get some friends. I have a good time. Yeah. Would you believe I'm still not done?
Yeah.
I also watched But I'm a Cheerleader.
Banger.
That's a good movie. I like that movie.
I love Natasha
campy.
Lyonne.
It's queer. It's fun.
Yep.
I rewatched There Will Be Blood.
My ex loved that movie. Like, if you asked him what his favorite movie is, that was probably his answer. And I sat through that movie like 4 times.
4 times?
Over a 3-year-long relationship.
Do you like it?
No.
Oh. I really like that movie.
I think I would like it if I watched it with people I liked. But I think he put a bad taste in my mouth on it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
People can do that.
Yeah. That's why I don't like Cage the Elephant or Car Seat Headrest.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because someone ruined those 2 bands for me.
I don't like Car Seat Headrest. Because I think they're kind of boring.
And you're allowed to think that. I haven't listened to that band in probably 5 years. I don't even know what they sound like anymore.
They just don't do it for me.
But that's always the one where people are like, "Oh, you don't like Car Seat Headrest?" And
No,
I'm like,
yeah, they're
no.
a very beloved band, and like I'm all for it. But
Yeah, I had it ruined for me by somebody.
yeah,
Yeah, so okay, There Will Be Blood.
that's a banger.
Yeah,
Then I watched Idiocracy.
never seen that one either.
Mike Judge made a movie. You know who Mike Judge is? He made Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill.
Okay, then yeah, I do know of him.
Office Spaces.
Don't know what that is.
That's a movie.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It's
Cool.
a comedy. He made a movie. It's about this guy and this woman. They're frozen in time and are left in the thing for like 500 years. And the humans have like devolved. And by that, I mean like all the stupid people kept breeding.
Okay.
And just kept getting dumber.
Good.
So everybody's just an idiot. And like they're like the most average people on the planet in 2005. So by like their standards, they're geniuses.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's very much a 2005 movie.
Yeah.
It has not aged great, but there are certain jokes that I was like, that's funny.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's not the best Mike Judge, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've now that I have Netflix again, I'm like making it my mission to catch up on like some things that I missed, and like I only got into horror like recently, so I haven't seen like The Conjuring. What's the one? Oh, Annabelle. I want to watch that one, the one with the doll. I want to watch The Babadook. Jack thinks I shouldn't watch The Babadook.
Why?
Because The Babadook is about like grief.
Yes.
And it's about like a parent dying specifically.
You might shouldn't watch The Babadook.
Yeah.
I love The Babadook. I think The Babadook is one of the
I was like, maybe it'd be
movies that I've
cathartic
seen.
for me. I was like, maybe it'd be cathartic.
He's a gay icon.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta watch The Babadook.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have like a list of horror I'm trying to catch up on because I feel like I'm so late to the game. I'm just trying to watch more movies in general. I've only seen 3 movies.
It's true. What are they?
The Brave Little Toaster, Twisters 2024,
Yeah.
and
Scott Pilgrim.
no, haven't
Okay,
seen
that
that.
was the answer that you...
No, I haven't seen that one today.
You haven't seen it today?
Ever.
Ever? That's not true. You said this joke before.
Let me do my bit.
Okay.
And I can't think of the name of it.
But I'm a cheerleader?
The Pokemon movie.
Which one?
The Pokemon movie.
So the first one.
The Pokemon movie.
Okay, so the first one.
The Pokemon movie.
Do you know how many Pokemon movies there are?
I know, but it's called the Pokemon movie.
Okay. Have you seen the Digimon movie?
No, I've only seen 3 movies. The
Oh,
Brave Little
okay.
Toaster, Twisters 2024, and the Pokemon
So
movie.
you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim?
No.
So you lied.
No.
Okay.
This is my bit, Ryan. Let me have this.
I'm letting you have it. So can I just regardless of how many movies you have seen or not seen, you will have always have seen The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best movie of all time.
That is the constant that will be there for this bit.
Yes.
Will be The Brave Little Toaster. Okay.
That's the best movie of all time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I do like that movie. I do enjoy that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it's good.
That used to scare me as a kid. The
Oh, yeah.
the AC scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. But then he's okay.
But then he's okay.
He was a jerk.
My glasses are fogging up because I'm sweating.
You're sweating?
Because the AC's on.
Oh, yeah. We'll wrap it up here in a minute. I got a show for you to watch because you got Netflix now.
What show?
Dairy Girls.
Dairy. Oh, I've heard of that. The Irish thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Northern Irish.
Yeah. Well, never mind. I'm
What?
not going to ask that question.
That show is hilarious. Brittany got me into it.
I've heard it's funny. Someone told me about it recently as well. Or not recently. Last couple of years.
It's 3 seasons. First 2 seasons have 6 episodes apiece. Mm-hmm. Third one has 7. It's
That's
easy.
Easy, yeah. How long are the episodes?
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay.
It's actually like hysterical.
Okay.
I found it very funny.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
The MARTA bus.
The MARTA bus.
I don't have anything else.
I started reading Don the Don.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the manga good?
The manga is great.
Okay.
I'm having a really good time.
I'm interested to see. Because you said you think the anime is going to be huge.
I think it's going to be big. I don't know if like it's going to be like the biggest thing in the world, but
It's not going to be Chainsaw Man.
it's not going to be Chainsaw Man. Because like the thing with Chainsaw Man, like before the anime came out, people like the manga community was hyping up
Yeah.
that series
Yeah.
and like got anime watchers to hype up that series because they had seen like what Chainsaw Man was. And like there's a whole bunch of reasons why it got so big and everything, because it's good, first
Yeah.
of all. But like there's a bunch of reasons, I think. And I would like to, I don't know, maybe talk about that more when we have a little more time and not just, you know, like sweating to death in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it will not, I don't know if we'll get another anime with that much hype
Yeah.
for a minute.
Probably not.
Yeah, because JJK came out before Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah.
JJK's still huge.
JJK's huge. I feel like Spy Family had its moment in time.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer was a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Demon Slayer tattoo covered up. So
Good for you.
I was there. It wasn't okay. I still really like Demon Slayer. I would like to make this clear. I love Demon Slayer. However, this tattoo was done very poorly on somebody's couch, and it looked really bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I got it covered up. I still like Demon Slayer, but I did also, once I got it covered up, went, I'm probably not going to get another pop culture tattoo.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about getting a...
That's different.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay.
It's a book.
Okay.
And it's a series I is very beloved to me and has affected my life deeply.
That's fair. Yeah.
Demon Slayer did not affect me deeply enough to want to tattoo it on my body forever. I just thought it would be fun.
I understand.
And I thought I wanted anime tattoos, and I got an anime tattoo, and I went, no.
Yeah.
So, such is life.
Yeah. I think Don Da Don is going to be big because the manga is like pretty well liked. I just started reading it because the anime is coming out. The opening got leaked.
Yeah.
The opening's a banger.
Yeah, it looks really good. The song's good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. It's great. Like you just saying the name over and over again and like a cool beat.
Yeah.
It works.
Hit.
Yeah, it's good. I think you would like it. So check it out if you want to read a manga, I guess. Or don't. I don't care what you do. God, I hate you.
Whoa, man. And then he doesn't take it back. You guys see this?
I'm just kidding.
I'm being bullied.
I'm just kidding. Well, you deserve it. Look at you. Glasses McGee.
Look at you, Four Eyes.
Yeah, Four Eyes. Look at this spectacle wearing loser.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we should wrap
All
this
right.
up before Ryan starts berating me anymore.
If you see us at Dragonsteel, berate Whitney. She'll love it and
No,
not cry at all.
I will cry.
Yeah.
I will cry a lot if anyone's mean to me. Thank you. Don't do that.
All right. Whit. Close us out.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to the Listenercast. You know, like Ryan said earlier, feel free to share with a friend, like, comment, give us a rating, all that good kind of stuff. We really appreciate it. It does really help out. I will say our analytics have been looking really good recently.
Yeah.
So very, very thankful for that. So thank you guys as always. It is like we always say, like, we do this for fun and it's just for us at the end of the day, but it's really cool that people care. And yeah. So
Yeah.
Continuing to do positive things like leaving comments and all that is very helpful for us.
Yes.
So thank you. And thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week for part 2 of Words of Radiance. And that's what I've got.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.